We need a roll call to begin the meeting.
Harry Adams.
Here.
Brittany Brown.
Here.
Tim Cooley. Dave Gerhardt.
Here.
Mike Godfrey. Dee Nuttering.
Here.
Roy Roberts.
Here.
Don Lewis.
Here. Alright, forum, we need the invitation. Don? Mike Campbell, would you care to do our, invocation?
Sure will. Our Father, I come to you in Jesus' name, Lord, just thanking you for today and what you do for us, Lord, to send your Son to die for us on the cross. Lord, I just pray that you would just bless this meeting and bless the words that are said and bless the council as they make decisions, Lord. I just pray that they make it for the upbuilding of your kingdom. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen. The invocation. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any visitors that wants to speak other than Laura? I'm gonna give everybody a chance first, Laura. And Gina, when we discuss years later, how was your trip in?
Fast.
Get a ticket?
No.
Okay. And you're also. Anyone else have anything they want to speak about while we have visitors? Oh. All right, next one is Judy's place. Laura, would you like to stand up and tell us about it?
Sure. And I have some short little fact sheets for you to keep as well.
The reason she's here, if y'all not familiar with Judy's place, it's really a big defender of children's rights. And they've just opened up in Prestonsburg, so I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to steal your thunder.
No, that's good.
I just tried to bring it.
That's good. So we are excited to have opened a second location for Judy's Place in Prestonsburg. And we have opened in the first floor of the Red, Brown, and Williams building. It's directly across from 295 near Pinnacle. And so if any of you see our logo that's on your fact sheet on the building and wonder what it is, I wanted to come and give you a little information about what we're doing there. Because we are child friendly and we have kids on our logo, sometimes people think we're a daycare or something like that, or wonder if kids live there. And so I always like to dispel that myth. Children do not live at Judy's Place, but we do provide specialized care when there are concerns of abuse or neglect. So we've had some really exciting developments for Judy's Place in the last few months. Judy's Place has been around since 1999 and has been in a building serving children, including children from Floyd County, since 2001, from one location in Pikeville. It's pretty tough to cover the whole big Sandy Ed from any one location in our region just because of the geography and population needs. And so last summer and spring, we began earnestly looking at where would be the best place for a second location. Was there a need? Where were the children in need? Where was the best place as far as location that could be accessed? And so we applied for funding, mainly from the Victims of Crimes Act, which is federal funding, but the nice thing is it's from criminal fines and fees, and it's not from tax dollars. And so they released more of those funds to do what those funds were set aside to do, which was serve victims of crime. And so when you think about child abuse, April's Child Abuse Prevention Month, and children are the victims of crime when there's an act of child abuse. In particular, at Judy's Place, most of the children that we've seen over the years have been victims of sexual abuse or severe physical abuse, so broken bones, those types of injuries on physical abuse. And we've seen about 300 children each year for the past several years. And so within the last few months, we've hired additional staff. We've basically doubled our staff size since the beginning of the year. And we have staff dedicated to the Prestonsburg office. And we are seeing children from Floyd County, Johnson, Martin, and McGoffin. And so just depending on where children live in Floyd County, some of them will still go to Pikeville for services just on what's more convenient for the family. And so we work very closely with law enforcement and child protective services, so don't be surprised when you see state vehicles or law enforcement vehicles at the center. That's part of routine, who we work with. One of our services that's requested the most are specialized interviews called forensic interviews, where one trained staff person talks to that child about their story, and law enforcement and child protective services can be in a different room, and that way that child is not intimidated. The other really exciting piece at Judy's Place for Kids in the last several months is that we have applied to start a court-appointed special advocate program for Eastern Kentucky, and initially we'll be serving Floyd and Pike counties. And so I hired our staff person for that program, Shauna Kelly. She just started week before last, and so she's getting her training under her belt and will be actively working on that program. This is also a nationally modeled program, but it really relies on community volunteers. And so we will be looking for interested community members who are willing to give of their time and can have that time to give. There's a screening process, background check process. There's a 30-hour training process before they can see or work with their first child, and then there's ongoing supervision. And these individuals commit to being appointed by the judge in family court to get to know a child who's in the family court system because of abuse, neglect, or dependency, getting to know their situation, and then they can make a report back to the judge. So they're the eyes and the ears of the court, but for that child, they have to see that child at least every 30 days, and they commit to stay involved with that child until that child has a permanent home, whether it's returning to their caregiver, having permanent custody with a relative, or adoption. They agree to stay committed, and so we'll be looking for CASA volunteers very soon. So those are our two programs that we're offering here in Prestonsburg, and we're very excited to be your new neighbor and make connections in a whole new different way in this area. I've been the executive director since 2005, and actually my primary office is here at the Prestonsburg location now.
How do you refer somebody to Judy's Place? Like if I wanted to refer, if I saw a need, wanted to make a referral, what would I do?
Right, you would still need to do that initial report of abuse or neglect if it's for the Children's Advocacy Center services. So we definitely encourage people that if you see something, report it. It is taken seriously, and that is how kids get to our services, is through law enforcement and
So
child
we
protective services.
So we don't go directly through you?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Mhm.
Les, I usually, I'm not the council, and I don't usually interrupt on these things, but I think that BD and I can both attest to the fact of what Judy's Place has meant in the family court system in Floyd County already, and to have a place here in Prestonsburg. Laura's amazing. What the work they do is amazing. We've practiced law here long enough to see the impact that Judy's Place has on the children. So wonderful. This is great.
Just to add to that, she discussed the forensic interviews. When Judy's Place first started, they started doing that. Ben would bring everyone that needs the information from that child together at one time and have one interview. Saves that child from being drugged through it more than one time. And it's, they're trained, they understand what they're doing, they don't leave. It's really an asset to law enforcement and investigative services.
So we hope to be an asset to the community in any way that we can, be involved with any kind of child abuse prevention activities. We do offer free trainings. I offer a 2-hour Darkness to Light Stewards of Children training that's specific to prevention of child sexual abuse. And so we're glad to offer that to any group of adults. And I'm sure we'll be scheduling some that are just open to the public to attend as well in Prestonsburg. But we're always glad to offer those anytime throughout the year. It's a really eye-opening training.
Does anyone from the floor have any questions? Thank
I
you.
appreciate you inviting me.
We're going to get some more flyers. The reason I'm asking is I think that a lot of people where I work could use this knowledge, so I'd like to.
Absolutely. Just give actually call me at the 886 number where here's my card. Here's my name. Anybody else like a card?
I think I've got all of them.
Yeah, I think you know how to reach
I think
me.
I can get over it.
I think I've had them on speed dial. Speed text.
Yeah.
Pretty intense.
No other questions? Thank you, Laura.
If there's nothing further, I think I will try to go ahead and go. I am a mom of 3. My youngest had shots today, and she's not.
Not a problem.
Well, she's not feeling
Thank you.
the best. Thank you.
Do we have any other visitors from the floor that want to speak? Okay. Need to approve the minutes for 3/20 of 2017.
So moved.
I have a motion to approve minutes. Need a second? Second. I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion's passed. Need a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
They were just our normal bills, by the way.
We have any unfinished business from the last meeting? Under new business, we will have some. All right, now the new business then. First reading of ordinance number 03-2017.
An ordinance of the city of Prestonsburg, Kentucky, by which the city establishes job classifications and compensation scales for elected officers, appointed officials, and employees for fiscal year 2017-2018.
There will be no other action on that this time, as it's the first reading. Now we have the first reading of 04-2017.
An ordinance adopting the city of Prestonsburg, Kentucky annual budget for fiscal year July 1, 2017 through June 30, 2018 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriated funds for the operation of city government.
There will be no further discussion on time as it been the first reading. That being said, if you guys are interested in having a work session so you can talk with each department head as to what their needs are and stuff, you need to let Sharon know, and we'll set it up for the next meeting. We can approve the budget with amendments at that point, and it would still be well within our time frame. Yeah, just let Sharon know, and we'll set it up. Now we have a Floyd County Health Department Memorandum of Understanding, or Memorandum of Agreement, MOA. Y'all should have gotten some information on it. We have a couple of sample memorandums that were attached also. I also have some information on liability protection for public health partners, which will be us at that point. So we have Gina Porter here, who's from the health department, who can answer any questions about it. I'll just go ahead and open the door for you if you don't mind. I'll tell you somewhat. Basically what we would be a point of dispensary at that point, right? What happens is, let's say there's a bird flu outbreak, and the Center for Disease Control feels like they have to send medicine there to take care of everybody. It goes to the health department. The health department will have a list of how many people we have, including our households, to be given shots, medicine, whatever it is. And we would have a plan set up at that point where we can take care of all of our employees and employees' households as far as getting the medicine to them. It would actually be, it may literally be a drive-through, where they drive through and we got somebody sitting there swabbing them down, giving them a shot, and they drive on through. But it would be a list of taking care of our personnel. We get the medicine quicker because we wouldn't have to stand in line over there. And it also takes some of the burden off of them because we don't have to stand in line over there. We take, and when you look at between us and city utilities, you're talking about probably 2,000 to 2,500 people with their family, households, and everything. They'll be taken out of that mix over there, get them through, get them quicker. So it just helps deter the transmittal of these diseases. Gina?
Well, you covered it very well, Les. I do believe.
I tried to do my homework.
The purpose is to get life-saving medications, vaccines to the public quicker. Again, if any of you were to have to attend an open pod or point of dispensing, you could stand in line for as long as anybody else. The majority of this, well, a good portion of the city employees are boots on the ground, fire, police, some EMS, and those people are always faced with disease and or any other exposures quicker than anyone else. So those people definitely require any type of medicines and vaccines. And unfortunately, there's not a plan in place other than the health department, even the hospitals would have to stand in line at an open pod. So if the city of Prestonsburg becomes a closed pod partner, then you, your families, all of our responders can get those life-saving medicines quicker. And you all can distribute them to yourselves. You get them at the same time the health department would, and you could vaccinate, inoculate, whatever, your own people just as quick as we would, within internally at the health department. However, you would take out that time that you would have to stand in line at an open pod. So.
Anybody in the council have any questions for Gene? I would need a motion to be able to sign the memorandum of agreement with them to make us a closed pod. And God, we hope we don't ever have to do this, closed pod in a situation where inoculation or anything has to be done. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Discussion.
Just open Friday, so
Yeah, we don't want it to happen, but we won't be prepared for that.
Quick question.
Yes.
If something were to happen, do we have something that would be in place as far as,
A plan?
a plan?
Operational plan? We have a very general plan right now. Once I've talked to Gina, we will be writing a plan, which will be, won't be an ordinance, it'll be more just like an operational plan, a guideline. We'll get approved through them, and we'll have to set up. And it may be that we have somebody sitting right out here in the driveway, give you a shot to shoot you right in the back up here.
And we will work closely with whomever he appoints to do this. We already have the plans and templates and everything in place to tailor to the city.
All right. Any more discussion? Everyone who's in favor of this, allowing me to sign this memorandum of agreement, understanding. See, it says memorandum of understanding, one memorandum of agreement on it. Everybody agrees I should be able to sign this and say that. All opposed? Gina, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, just for clarification on that, there is a, it takes the liability away from us a lot in the fact that we're doing this. We have to get pertinent information off of them, but if there is issues, there's a defensible situation through federal court. Is that not correct?
There is a federal PREP Act that they call it that protects from any type of tort liability. However, in the event of any type of declared disaster, the CDC has those guidelines and regulations in place to protect anyone that's a partner.
That means, Harry, let me give you your shot. I'm in. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you.
All right. Tourism reappointments. And the appointments that are due right now is Cliff Ladd, Rodney Gardner, and Rick Hughes.
Oh, we just did that.
Well, what happened was it was filling spots
Okay.
in all three of these situations, and none of them's been on. I think Cliff's been on the longest with Mitchell.
Yeah, he's been
He's
on.
not even on a year yet, has he?
No, Cliff's been on almost 3 years.
Has he been on that long?
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
Seems longer.
So,
He had a full term pretty much.
I will say that the commission we have over there has worked with me very recently on some pretty good projects. They have the right game plan in place. They have the desire to do the right thing. And I don't have a problem reappointing all three of these with your all's approval.
I'll make a motion to appoint all three.
I have a second. Any discussion?
Has anyone else expressed any interest? Other than-
No one is coming back. Now, some of them are, Rodney Gardner's is sick. He is from the motel, he's one of the hotel motels.
I'm just saying, anybody who's even outside of these three expressed any interest in going on tourism that we should consider, or just?
They haven't come to me. Nobody's brought it up, and these are the three that currently on.
Fine with this.
All right. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right. Our next is authorized tourism to bid for purchase and bid for finance of a new vehicle. Mitchell, one thing is, have y'all got the money in your budget, in this current term's budget, or are you looking for the next year's budget after July?
We have the money in our current budget to put down a good down payment, and then we would like to finance the rest of it to be able to have a vehicle.
Okay.
And we have went ahead in the budget that we've submitted to you all to go ahead and include.
Okay.
What's this, moving forward?
It would be for the use for the office, for myself as well as Brooke. We do a lot of traveling back and forth. It would save us on expense of paying 53 cents a mile, which adds up quite significantly.
Did we look at a vehicle yet?
We sit there and we looked at several different options to sit there and get an idea of price, and we presented that to the board before we ever decided to get to this point right here.
So what kind of vehicle are we talking?
We're looking at a Ford Explorer, is what we're looking at with this one. We do also a lot of traveling, like with fan tours. For instance, we had to sit there and rent a vehicle recently for tour operators that came through to visit. So we're always using either my vehicle, or if we can get the chance, when it's available, the Kia.
I am going to say that I don't think you could be so specific as to ask for a Ford Explorer.
Okay, that's fine.
I think what you're gonna have to do is ask for an SUV, and then we get bids from Ford, Chevy, Dodge, or whoever. And wouldn't that be, I think it would be better for us to do that.
I think you have, and I think that
We have to open it up for bids.
to ask
Well,
for
that's
an
fine,
SUV,
yeah.
you've got to explain why you're looking for more than a utility vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Does the city have a fleet number for work as a fleet program or not?
We,
$5,000 to $8,000?
actually, what we have to operate on is low bid regardless, and what they do is, they go to local state contract, and that's usually the lowest, but it has been beaten.
But they still have a program and not $5,000 to $8,000 on vehicle.
But they have to do that,
If you purchase it.
but they have to do that through the dealership, and that'd be something the dealership have to include in the bid to get that.
What I'm saying is even though if you buy that Ford, it's cheaper. You still have that incentive coming to you.
I don't think the state can operate that way, we can't do that. A private business could, but we can't. We have to take the bids out there, and the bid has to come through them.
Right. But still yet, even after you purchase that vehicle, if it is what bid, Ford still has to turn back around and reimburse that money.
I will check on that, but I don't think they can do that in the state.
The bid's gotta be what the bid is, and
Yeah.
if there's an incentive, the dealer
It has to be
would
put on
include
the
that in the bid.
Yeah, it has to be part of the bid package if they put it.
That's part of the procurement process.
Well, I'm sure we don't have a fleet, no, we don't have a fleet number, that would, no, we don't have no Fords do that.
And I just want to say, it's not that we were looking for an SUV necessarily, but we do a lot of hauling as well as during the wintertime. I do a lot of traveling for the travel shows, and we have a booth set up that cannot get in a car or a Prius, because that would have been ideal. But
Now you want
Which part of your budget do you have to down payment?
it's in our overall general for this year. Yes, sir.
All right, any more questions from Mitchell? No more discussion, all in favor?
Need a motion?
Oh, I need a motion, that's right, I need a motion to authorize to bid for purchase and bid for financing.
the purchase of a SUV, right?
Yes.
I think it's gotta
Is it
be,
an SUV or do you just need like a station wagon?
I think you gotta phrase it that the motion would be for a vehicle suitable for the tourism need. I don't think you could specify the SUV.
We have,
These, your
They
General
need-
Motors, your Equinox, the seats lay down, all
Exactly.
6 people.
Crossovers.
Yeah, crossovers, more
you know,
the,
I
I don't see why you need a 4-wheel drive.
I think you gotta open it up to see what all your possibilities are.
With the four-wheel or all-wheel drive, I do have to say, a lot of stuff happens because there's so much action going in the summer. A lot of the meetings and stuff that they have to attend is in the winter. So he does need an all-wheel drive.
Like a crossover or something.
Mitchell, do you have
All-wheel for,
specifications like 8-foot tables that you carry? I mean, does it have to?
Yeah, it would at least need to be 8 feet for 8-foot tables along that line.
Do you
I mean,
have
we
any
could have got down,
preference?
pardon me.
I think, honestly, before we supply this to the dealers, you're gonna have to give,
Like a spec sheet?
here's what we travel with, here's what this vehicle has to accommodate.
We can do that.
Okay.
there's no problem with
That'd be
that.
helpful, probably, yeah.
Because we had looked at the dimensions in cubic feet when we were looking at these vehicles, so we can get that to you.
So I think what we need is a motion for, the motion basically needs to say that, we approve tourism to bid for the purchase and finance of a vehicle that would accommodate their needs as per their specs on the bid, and the bid having to be approved by, at least, run through Jennifer and run through themselves to make sure it's within the bid process.
Sounds right.
Everybody agree with that?
What do you say?
I need somebody to make a motion.
Motion.
I have a motion, need a second.
Second.
I have a second, all in favor? All opposed? Alright, Mitchell, if you'll get with Sharon, she can help you on getting the bid specs and what you have to do.
That'll work. Thank you all.
I need a motion to go into executive session. I have a motion to go into executive session, I need a second.
Second.
I have a second, all in favor? I have a second, huh? Yeah. I have the second motion, yep, we will vote on it first. All in favor of coming out of executive session, say aye. All opposed? I think someone is gonna make a motion about allowing me to follow up on the grants for the Mountain Art Center.
Need a motion to allow the mayor to pursue grant opportunities for the Mountain Center.
All right.
Oh, she's ready.
I thought she was too, she brought it up. Have you made a motion yet? All right. All in favor? All opposed?
Second and,
All right, one other thing we needed on was the, no, we'll do that next time. There was the, I'll need a motion to put out a request for proposal for, future business of, some of Prestonsburg's assets.
I'll do that.
I'll second.
Have a second, all in favor? All opposed? The last thing we have is, the trail board, and this is just for everybody's information. We're putting an ad hoc trail board together, be a limited time frame for them to operate. At that point, we will do an executive order to formulate the ad hoc trail board. Anybody interested in recreational trails, whether it be horseback riding, mountain bike riding, or hiking, please feel free to contact one of the councilmen. Let them know you're interested. We'll try to get you on the board. Any other further business before the council tonight? I need that motion. I have a motion to adjourn. Wait there. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I got a motion to adjourn. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are now closed.
Wish you would do that.
Let's go.
Serious.
Wish you would take it home.
Brittany, when you make a motion, you're always supposed to hold your stuff.